So if you look, the first thing, so I have a ton of already posted for the beginning this week. Okay, so if you take a look, I have the extra credit extension here. Okay, again, a lot of students took advantage of this. These are the expectations. This kind of explains what happens. And again, this is not a substitute for work that you don't want to do in my class. This is something you get to do, have an opportunity to do when you finish all of your work. So I already have everything posted for this entire week, and I think up until Monday. So you can get all that done and then use your class time to work on the extra credit extension and to look into topics that you really maybe a little bit more interested about. Okay, so if you take a look, okay, um, you must do it if you finish all your currently assigned work. Let's say you just work a little bit quicker than an average student and you're getting your stuff done a lot quicker, then you should use your class time to work on an extra credit extension. Okay? You choose an applicable topic from the current unit. We're transitioning now to Africa and the Middle East. That's our unit that we're looking at right now. Okay, we're transitioning away from Europe. We're transitioning into Africa and the Middle East. Okay, and then you choose a topic, and then you have to ask for permission. Like, is it okay if I do this topic? So I know what you're studying. So I know what you're looking at. I have a list of topics on the next page in Canvas as well. Okay, so then you complete the research organizer. You've got to do it well. Complete the research organizer. Complete it well. Okay, and then you'll get points based on the quality of your work, the amount of work that you did for that research organizer. And again, if you just do, let's say if you just do one source, but you do really well in researching something related to a topic that I approved, then you're going to get half a formal point or maybe more. And that's actually pretty good when it comes to the formal points. Okay, that gets added on. Imagine that it just kind of gets added on to a formal grade. Okay, that really is beneficial for you in the long run. Okay, the overall, everything is due March 5th for this. That is the day of our quarterly. That is when you must have the research organizer done and turned in, as well as your product if you got to a product. Okay, some different things you can do: one pager, 3D model, trading cards, monologue, infographic, um, short video, historical fiction story. If there's any plagiarism at all, then you will get no credit at all for your work and for your effort. Okay. All right, here's some expectations for each of those assignments and what's expected of you. All right, so transitioning here, next page, you will see the topics. So if you look here, here's some topics that you can choose from for your extra credit extension. You can look at something called the Berlin Conference, which we'll get into, related to colonialism, child labor, okay, um, some different case studies on these different countries. You could look at successful African democracies, successful African economics or economies. You could look at cocoa growing when it comes to chocolate and development of chocolate. Focus on the Nile River, Sahara Desert, Suez Canal, Lake Malawi, student choice. Okay, there's another topic we're going to cover is the Arab-Israeli conflict. There are lots of different topic things you can focus on there. The Arab Spring we'll get into. There's tons of topics. Rwanda, South Africa, transatlantic slave trade, Malawi, and Ethiopia. Those are all different topics that I would recommend that you look into based on student interest for your extra credit extension. Okay, everybody look at page 61 in your digital notebook. 61 in your digital notebook. And that's just where you'll see your research organizer for the extra credit extension. There's 4 spaces for 4 different sources for you to list out your information as you research. Okay, so that's just where that is. Everybody should have that page at this point. I believe that should be distributed to you in your digital notebook. And then last thing in this module for the extra credit extension for this unit is where you submit it. All right. So you can submit it, send me a link to like a video or whatever you did, or post it to this, and this is where that assignment will go. All right. Any questions about the extra credit extension? All right. All right, so there's no video yet for January 5th. It will be posted there soon. And there is no starter today because I don't have anything that I want to review because this is our first day back. Let's continue. All right, summary. Today, our objective, we're going to draw conclusions based on maps of North Africa and the Middle East. North Carolina Standard Course of Studies, you're going to use maps to interpret and draw conclusions about social, economic, and environmental issues in modern societies and regions. The unit now is Africa and the Middle East, so make sure you get that correct on the ticket out the door, please. And then our statement of inquiry is transitioning to discontent creates change. When we're looking at people or just things not going the way that they should, there's a potential for change in that opportunity. So synchronous work, we're going to begin page 62. And that NA and ME stands for North Africa and the Middle East. We're going to look at the geography of North Africa and the Middle East, and then the January 5th ticket out the door. Your asynchronous work is to complete page 62. All right. Everybody go to page 62 in your digital notebook, please. 62 in your digital notebook. Please go there now. I'll give you about a minute, and then and then we'll get started. All right, so here we are. North Africa and the Middle East geography. So this is what we're looking at here, okay? You should be on page 62 in your digital notebook. Can you let me know if you do not have that page in your digital notebook, okay, so I can make sure that that is distributed to you properly. But this is the region, so our unit that we're looking at is all of Africa and then like the Middle East. So kind of looking at like this region here would be determined like the Middle East, could even include like Egypt. But if we're looking at this region as the Middle East and then all of Africa, and I'm dividing that into two sections. We're going to look at North Africa and the Middle East first, and then we're going to transition to Sub-Saharan Africa. Okay, so those are the two regions within this unit that we're going to look at. I'm kind of dividing it into those regions based on the similar characteristics that those regions have. Okay, so pretty straightforward here. Pretty straightforward. If you look at page 62 in your digital notebook, okay, I want you to look at these maps and answer those questions based on page 62. And I'm going to go there on my other device here. I believe everybody has that page. Good. All right, and I'll distribute 63 in a little bit as well. That's what we're doing tomorrow. Okay, but somebody tell me, go ahead in the chat. Let's answer this first one together. Which mountain range dominates Iran, Azerbaijan, Armenia, and Turkey? Which one? Put that in the chat. Which mountain range? Anybody? Well, this is helping us read a physical map. If we're looking at a physical map, right, it shows us elevation. The darker colors, the red, the brown, it's going to be higher elevation. Okay. I don't know if I'd say the Atlas Mountains. Look, yeah, the Zagros Mountains. There we go, right? So we got like Iran, Armenia, Azerbaijan, Turkey. So this is a little bit larger mountain range. You do have like the Taurus Mountains and some other mountains, okay? But it would be the Zagros Mountains. Now look at this next question though. So you put that in there on page 62, but make sure you follow up with this next question. How would this mountain range affect movement in these countries? What do you think? Go ahead and put in the chat. Put in the chat. What we got? How do those Zagros Mountains affect movement? You can think like the movement of people, the movement of like maybe even animals. Yeah, like who goes over a mountain, right? Not many people. Are you gonna have? I mean, those are tall mountains too. I mean, we got mountains, right? The Blue Ridge Mountains, but you can get through there on a highway, and there are probably some roads there, but it's probably you're less likely to travel over these mountains. So movement is going to be drastically deterred, or um, you know, not as common. So you may not have as much travel from Iran over to Iraq, or from the western part of Turkey over to the eastern part of Turkey. You're probably not going to have as much movement in from those countries. Okay, does that make sense in the chat? Does that make sense? I mean, you even look at mountains impact the weather patterns. Sometimes like the clouds and the rain and things will kind of be moved by mountains and where they are. It really changes a lot. Okay, all right. Let's look at the second question for the physical map. It's on the right side of the column, okay, the right side of the organizer. How does the presence of multiple bodies of water around North Africa and the Middle East affect trade? All right, y'all. So if I'm looking at this, right, this place is surrounded by bodies of water. We got the Arabian Peninsula, which is surrounded by three sides by water, right? Persian Gulf, Arabian Sea, Gulf of Aden, Red Sea, okay? Yeah, but how does it impact trade? Is it a good thing or bad thing for trade? You got the Red Sea, you got the Suez Canal, which connects to the Mediterranean Sea. Why would you say bad? And does anybody disagree and say good? Go ahead and put your thoughts in the chat. What's good about it? What's bad about it? Why would it be harder? And somebody tell me, why would it be easier? What do y'all think? What makes trade harder with all the water? And what makes it easier? All right, there you go. Yeah, I see some good comments, right? Here's the deal. If I'm looking at that, if I'm looking at water, I mean, probably the easiest way to transport goods is by boat. Yeah, but I'm talking about if I'm like shipments of giant containers or oil or materials to get it to other parts of the world to export it and to import it. Water is a good thing, right? If you go to parts of the United States on the East Coast, they'll have different ports that will bring in materials to the coast. Okay, now it could be hard to move, like when it comes to maybe personal travel, but when we're talking about trading materials, this water is a great thing for this region. Okay, it helps trade because you have ports, you can put things on boats, and then really get them anywhere you want around the world. Okay, but that's good. That's good. I could see like initially thinking that it's a bad thing. All right, all right. Transition to the political map. Political map. Next one down. All right, so look at the political map here. Okay, that is some basic stuff. Now here's the deal. On Friday, I think it's Friday, I'm giving you a formal map reading quiz as your starter on Friday. And that's gonna be like, I believe, a 5-question quiz. Okay, and it's gonna be using these maps. Different questions, but using these maps. So now let's look at the political map. Where are most of, and go ahead and just start typing this stuff in the chat, y'all, so we can just kind of discuss this all together. Where are most of the cities and capitals located in North Africa? So if I'm looking at this, here's Africa. This area right here is North Africa. Morocco, Algeria, Tunisia, Libya, and Egypt is what we would refer to as North Africa. Where are most of the cities located? Come on, y'all, put in chat, put in chat. Let's go. Let's get a little more active here, a little more active. And then why do you think they're located there? Northern, yeah. No, you're okay. So look, right? Do we have any cities down here? If you look where my mouse is, okay, we don't have any cities down there. Okay. All right. So they're all up here, which is where? They're all where? They're all by water. They're all by water. They're all on the coast, except for one, Cairo. But Cairo's on what? Y'all tell me, what's Cairo on? It's located next to what? Y'all should have a river. Which river? Which river? Yeah, the Nile River. Y'all should got that from last year's stuff, right? And the irrigation. All right. So the Nile River. Okay. All right. So that's why. Why are they located there? Y'all tell me. Why are they located along the water? What's the purpose? To use it? They need it. Yeah. I mean, without water, you cannot have. You really can't have a city without water, without access to water. Okay. Good. Good. And if you look back at this map up here, the physical map, we're just talking about not having water. This is a desert. So you're really not gonna put a city in a desert. Okay, you're not gonna make it. Okay, the city's not gonna thrive. Okay, so you're gonna need access to water. Okay, all right. Next question here. What is the capital of Iran? What's the symbol that represents the capital? Because this is gonna be on the quiz. Star. There you go. So what's the capital of Iran? So in order to do this, you have to find Iran and then find the one that's the star. As the star. Tehran. Good. All right. Pretty straightforward. All right. What does that mean? Let's do this. What is the difference between a regular city and a capital city? What's the difference? Anybody? What could be the difference of a capital city? What's in a capital city that's probably not in a regular city? What's in Raleigh that is not in Charlotte? Let's just put it that way. Yeah, it's like the government buildings, right? The government offices. You're gonna have most of those like you look at the United States, you look at Washington D.C. as the capital. It's because that's where our government's gonna be mostly headquartered, right? Okay, so that's the difference. So if you're gonna go meet with the president of Iran, you're probably gonna go to Tehran. I want everybody, so I'm gonna stop there. I'm gonna stop there. Okay, you need to do the climate map, talking about long-term weather patterns and the different types of climates. Okay, a lot of it's the same, but you got some diversity up here in this area towards the coast. And the vegetation and biome map. Okay, you need to complete those during your asynchronous time. But everybody right now, go to the ticket out the door, please. Ticket out the door. Pretty straightforward again. Okay, now again, we're different unit, different statement of inquiry. Different unit, different statement of inquiry. Okay, so go to the objective. What unit are we studying? Statement of inquiry in your asynchronous work. Okay,